Hello, everyone. Apologies in advance for my dogs, my 5-year-old who's homesick, playing Legos, for whatever is about to happen on this live stream. My apologies in advance. Welcome, my friends. How are you today? I'm Kiki Lovelace. My pronouns are she and they, and I am a self-made millionaire, the breadwinner in my family, a dream homeowner. I am also a mom of 2 humans and 2 fur babies. And I am a retired 1960s synchronized go-go dancer with San Francisco's go-go sweethearts, the Devilettes, if you know, you know. I am a longtime Pilates and yoga studio owner here in the East Bay in Northern California. And I'm also an embodied leadership and success mentor to my 6 and multi-6 and 7-figure plus business owner clients. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here live. I can see there's some people joining. And I know that many of you have messaged me in the last 24 hours or so to tell me that you were going to watch on the replay. So if you're watching live, put live in the comments down below. If you're watching on the replay, hit replay. I want to know who's here. I want to know who's watching. And I really want to hear your questions. If I don't get to them today on the live stream, I'll come back and look through and see if I can help you on the other side of this recording. So yeah, I mean, a little bit about me. I started playing with what I like to call the magical art of time creation back 10 years ago when I was pregnant with my firstborn. I was building my first company, my Pilates and yoga studio. And I was doing that. I was working like 70 to 80 hours a week for years. I was doing that. I was in a mountain of debt. I had arranged for capital of about $300,000 over the first several years of business ownership, some of it for the build out and the launch of the business, and a lot of it for the working capital that was required to actually make it work in those first several years. And now, fast forward, I lead my 2 companies in about 15 hours a week. I work only 3 weeks a month with meetings and coaching calls and all the things. And I have, in the last couple of years, added a summer sabbatical to my schedule, which has been such a blessing for my family and for our joy and our presence with each other. So I take a month off every summer in July as well. And it is my greatest passion to help other female and non-binary small business owners to scale their business to multi-6 or 7 figures plus without doing the job of 6 humans. Because if you're anything like me, that's how you started, is doing all the things all the time and not really having time for anything, right? Of course. And I do that with several of my different coaching programs, my private coaching programs, and of course, my 2 masterminds, Scale School, which is coming up in October, my 3-month intro mastermind, and then my 12-month visionary leader mastermind, which I can tell you more about if you're curious about it. And I also want to name that I am a white person. I am able-bodied. I am cisgendered. I am an American woman of European descent. I'm naming some of my privileges because I want to make this space more inclusive for folks who don't have all those privileges, but also because I really want to name that for the better part of a decade, about 8 years now, I have been consistently doing the very messy, uncomfortable, and actually very quiet internal work of working with my anti-oppression mentors, my anti-racism mentors, to understand my privilege, to unpack it, to really get that like a lot of my success, some of the things I've just named, is not just because of my mindset or just because of, the strategies I use or just because of whatever else we think success is all about, but it's a lot because of my privileges. And so I'm naming this because I want to have a dialogue with you about that. If you want to talk about it, I welcome any comments below. I also welcome you, especially the white women in my audience who want to do this work. If you need resources, if you want to chat about it, I would love to talk to you. So please feel free to DM me if you want to learn more about your privilege and how that is affecting your life and how it's and how it works in the world. and how you can use it responsibly and for the best, for the betterment of our people and our planet, instead of just being unconscious about it, which is actually quite harmful. This is such important in conversation, and the conversation that we're here to have today, I'm really excited to talk to you about. Today is just a really short, simple share, a little behind the scenes peek or view into how I run my marketing team for my Pilates studio in particular. And I'm so excited to talk to you about this because this was like a vast mystery to me. Back when I was doing the job of 6 humans, oftentimes marketing fell to the bottom of my to-do list. I was so busy as a small business owner doing all the delivery and, launching new revenue streams and building out curriculum and, doing my best to like onboard new employees. Although I didn't have a process around that. I was terrible at that. Manage the finances and just all the millions of things. The marketing piece would always fall to the bottom of my list. And truly, I didn't really market Interstellar at all in the first, I would say, 4 years or so. I mean, we had a website, so that was something, but we didn't do any email marketing really, except for like, remember those days of the newsletter? We would do the monthly newsletter. If you know, you know. And that was kind of we opened in 2011. So it was really before socials were like a thing. So for me, it was like really mysterious. Like, how does one make time for marketing? And also like, what should I do? There's so many different options and I don't know how to do any of them. So I'm hoping today I'll just shine a little bit of light on what we do at Interstellar, how we work together as a team, how we divvy up the responsibilities amongst the 5 of us, because there are 5 of us that work super part-time. But we complete our marketing tasks in about 5 hours total per week, not per person, total. It takes us about 5 hours per week, maybe a little bit more on a launch week. I also want to clarify like how we work together as a team to make sure that all our website edits are done. We get at least 2 social posts out a week. We get at least 2 conversion copy emails out per week. So I'm going to illuminate all those pieces. And I want you all to know that I use an organic marketing strategy. I don't pay for ads. I've actually never paid for ads for my Pilates privates or for my reformer classes, which are my 2 main, really, like, I would say 90% of the revenue right now is coming from those 2 sources. And I've never run ads for them, but I've never had a problem attracting new students in the 12 years that we've been open. And that is in huge part because of this team, because of the systems that we've created together, and because of the really strong brand identity that we've together crafted, of course, with the support of our delivery team, of our instructor team, who is phenomenal. And, I get compliments on all the time. They're always so fantastic. So let's go. Let's dive in. Are you excited to hear about this? I hope for you brick and mortar business owners, especially the wellness business owners in my audience. I know there's some marketing agency owners here, and of course some coaches and consultants, because that's the world that I live in. But I really hope that you'll find this really valuable, because I know that when you have a small business and when you have a small team, it's sometimes sort of mysterious. So I'm just going to demystify it for you today and give you perhaps a little template that you could start to follow and play around with and tweak it so that it really works for you and for the people that are on your team right now. So here's a secret about marketing your small business. What you're doing doesn't matter nearly as much as your belief that it's going to work. That's actually going to like change a lot of things for a lot of people right there. So it doesn't matter the what. There's a million choices you can make, and all of them could work for you in terms of how to market and what channels to show up on and blah, 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 how to, speak your message and all those things. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It more matters that you believe it's going to work. The belief that it's going to work is a huge piece of what makes it work. And so my support to you is just continue to be decisive, make decisions to choose a certain path, or, certain, like maybe you're into live streams like me, or maybe you like to do short form video on Reels or TikTok, or maybe you just don't even like video at all and you only want to do, copy or whatever it is. Just make your choices and decide it's going to work. And any little investments you make, if you have a marketing mentor, you're learning a new sales funnel technique or whatever the heck, make choices that help you believe more and more that it's going to work. Continue to make choices, continue to take action, aligned action, so that you can strengthen that belief. Because I'm telling you, that is like 80% of the problem solved right there. And it will work 1000% better if you dedicate yourself, as me and my team members have, to the radical discipline of alignment. So what does that mean? I know that term is like thrown around a lot, but if you want sustainable and consistent revenue growth, you will need to find a way to market and sell in your business, because you can't like avoid that as a small business owner. So I want you to know, some of you who are telling yourself, well, it's not aligned for me to market or sell. Well, you can't skip that. So if that's really true for you, you probably shouldn't be a business owner. There, straight up, mic drop. You probably shouldn't be a business owner, because you have to learn how to market and sell to become a successful small business owner. But there are so many different options for marketing and for sales processes that as you learn more and you have more and more experiences and you invest in different kinds of mentors who can teach you all the different things, you will start to find the ways that are more aligned for you. And what does that mean? So alignment to me is a multifaceted jewel. I could do a whole training on this. And in fact, I do in my Scale School 3-month mastermind. We have 3 weeks of trainings about creating an alignment-based business. But what I will tell you is that it's about knowing who you are, knowing what your strengths are, knowing what you're good at. And same thing for your team members, knowing what they're good at. It's about, and it's also about preferences. It's about what you want to do, how you want to do it, what feels good for you and easy for you and light for you, as opposed to making yourself do something because some mentor told you you have to, or because you think you should, or you think this is how people have to do it. I don't really want to do it this way, but this is how you have to do it if you're a small business owner in my industry. So this is how I'm going to do it. Anytime you hear yourself doing the shoulds or have tos, it's a sign that something is misaligned, and you need to get real curious about what that is, because alignment in your business equals abundance. And it's just that simple. I'm not just talking about financial abundance, although that is a huge part of it. I'm talking about time abundance. I'm talking about an abundance of creative inspiration. Alignment equals abundance. So for me, I have moved this principle of alignment through, I'm about to give you some examples, like through my marketing team and how we work together as a team, and through all my team members and the whole organization of both my companies. But I've also woven this principle and this discipline, really, of making alignment-based choices in how I run my businesses through every single part of my business, through the sales processes, through the marketing, through our pricing, through our offers, through our audience and who we actually want to be attracting, even through like the systems, the back-end pieces, the back-end solutions, the software, all of it, I run it through this sort of inner compass of alignment. And that is something you'll learn really deeply in depth, and you will actually apply to your business should we work together in one of my coaching programs. So this is how that looks in my very small but mighty marketing team for my Pilates studio. Are you excited to learn this? So there are 5 of us. I'm going to tell you what our roles are and exactly what we do. It's very small duties that each of us have. So my role as the CEO and as the founder and director, I create the offers and I design the launch strategies. Is this going to be evergreen? Are we just going to, we call them sometimes our bread and butter offers, or are we going to do like a launch that is maybe 4 weeks or 5 weeks, or maybe it's a 6-month launch? So I design the launch strategies, and I work with my director of marketing on the year-long marketing calendar. Like, what do we know we have Black Friday. We know we have a Pilates teacher training. We know we have a couple of other launches. So how do we dot in the rest of the evergreen offers inside that? My director of marketing is a rock star. She's been with the company at every single level of the organization, all the way now up to director of marketing, for probably 8, maybe 9 years. and she's an amazing copywriter. So her role is to write 2 pieces of conversion copy per week, which we use for our email and our social posts. Sometimes she repurposes copy, which I'll tell you a little bit about in a couple minutes. And she also is a great manager. So she manages the rest of our small but mighty marketing team. Then I have my operations manager, who is a blessing to my heart and soul and just a wonderful human, and has been with the company probably for, I want to say 4 years. And I'm including them in this list, even though they're not officially part of the marketing department, because they do help us with just really simple things like, setting it up in MindBody Online and creating checkout links and making sure we have everything we need once we've ideated the offer and figured out what the sales funnel is, or maybe what the enrollment process is, and how we want that flow to be as a client is purchasing it online or in person at the desk. So Tess does that. They set everything up for us, and they help us kind of figure out the technical pieces of how this is going to work and what the customer experience is going to be. Then we have 2 more folks. We have our social media assistants turned manager turned strategist. They've moved up over the course of the last, I don't know how long that she's been with us now. It's probably been 4 years, maybe 5. And this person is amazing. They've been on our yoga teaching team. They were a student for a long time before taking our yoga teacher training. And a lot of my people in my studio business, I want you to know, have played multiple roles. They're a yoga teacher, Pilates teacher, and I've had conversations with them. Would you like to step into this administrative role? I'd love to call you in. You seem to be really good at this kind of thing. Would you like more work? So my social media strategist, of course, does create images in Canva and make sure that we get our posts out on our social channels each week. And she's also really good at website stuff, and she's really good at Excel spreadsheets, I found out. So she's very process oriented, and she's very comfortable in the digital world. So she does some of those other pieces too. And then the last person is the newest person on my administrative team, my assistant manager, Mackenzie. And she's been a really wonderful addition to the team. And right now, her only little small thing she does for the marketing squad, she does a lot of other things for operations, but for the marketing team, she takes the copy and she sets it up for our email list. And she makes sure everything is scheduled for the email campaigns or the email automations. She helps set all that up and schedule it and make sure that everything's going to go out in a timely manner. So yeah, how long does this take? I mean, for me personally, it's 1 to 2 hours per month. That's how long it takes. I just meet with my director of marketing once a month. And most of our ideas and our decisions happen in that 1 single hour per month. Sometimes I give it a little bit of thought on my nature walks with my dogs, but that's my second hour of marketing. That's it, really. And my director of marketing, she meets with the rest of that team once a month. So that's 1 hour once a month. And then the 4 of them communicate weekly inside a Google Sheet, which I always give to my clients, by the way, which we call the content tracker, which my Excel person made for us years ago. And it's just such a blessing. It's so great. And so, yeah, so we have an Excel content tracker. And so all the links are there and everybody has all the information they need. And so it's really easy. And we have sort of a rhythm of, sort of self-imposed deadlines so that everybody can get what they need when they need it in order to do their job. It takes 5 hours a week total for the entire team. So we're just talking about 15 minutes here for some person, maybe an hour for one other person, maybe 2 hours for my copywriter, but it's just super simple, streamlined, not complicated at all. We keep it simple. I love simple. I like to have a small suite of offers. I don't like to launch something new every 2 seconds. In both my businesses, I really have 2 or 3 core offers, and that's pretty much it. Rinse, repeat, do it again. And generally, email is best for my studio business. Email marketing works best. And that might not be true for your business. For my coaching business, social media marketing works best to attract my dream clients. But for this business, email marketing works best. And the only reason I know that is just because we've experimented many, many times in all these different ways. And now I know, oh, this is the way my audience, this will direct them directly to the sale. I will see sales happen pretty much every time we send an email, for sure. So yeah, we generally email our list twice a week. We just keep it really simple, really basic, but we're consistent. And if we are in a launch, like we're trying to fill a cohort, 8 people, maybe 10 people, something like that, in a teacher training or a series or a workshop, then if we're in a launch, we will email every day, sometimes even twice a day towards the end of a launch when there's an expiration date for the savings or the bonus or whatever the heck, or, you know, the cohort is starting, then we might have a day or two where we email our list twice to remind them, like, now's the time. Now's the time to make your buying decision. It's now or never. Let's do it. We spend more time working on our subject lines than anything else. You know, I've learned that like it really doesn't matter what you say inside the email if like nobody opens it, right? So our open rates are amazing. They're really, really strong now, and they've gotten stronger and stronger with my copywriter at the helm, just because she's had so much practice. She knows what works. She knows how our audience thinks and what they respond to and what gets them really juiced up to actually open an email and then take action on the email. We reuse content all the time. So I just want to give you all permission. If you're not doing that yet, like you've got to start doing this. So we reuse content all the time. First of all, if we're sending out an email, we are absolutely going to repurpose that content for our social media and sometimes even on our website. And then additionally, we'll take content that we sent out 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and we'll just like give it a little bit of a haircut and a makeover and then reuse it today. We do it all the time. We often do it when somebody's going on vacation, like when my copywriter is going on vacation and she needs to load up a bunch of copy for like the 2 weeks that she'll be away. She just goes back and pulls a bunch of copies. So she doesn't spend bazillion hours working on it, you know, before she leaves for vacation. She just reuses stuff. And trust me, my audience has no clue. They don't know. They don't remember what we said 3 months ago or, you know, a year ago. And the way that we do that is we look back at open rates that were strong, like really strong. We're like, ooh, that one got a lot of people to open, or ooh, that one got a lot of clicks. And that's the content that we'll often repurpose for times where we need more content, or for times when somebody's going away and we just need to do it ahead of time. We need to batch it. What else do I want you to know? Okay, I think the last like technical piece that I really want to share is that we test new offers, not like so often, because as I told you, I don't like to launch something new every 2 seconds, but like probably once or twice a year, we will launch something new. We just have an idea and we're like, let's try it. We test it. And we look at our metrics together as a team once a month to see if it's working, what's not working. We try to diagnose like, oh, this part's working, but this part isn't. How could we shift that? How could we change that? And I'm telling you this because a lot of people skip this step of testing an offer, tweaking it, making it work better. And they just go right into like, oh, I have this good idea for an offer. Let me run some Facebook ads to that. And I just want you all to know, please stop doing that. It is a total waste of money. It's a waste of your time. You absolutely need to test, tweak, and refine your offers, your marketing process and message, your sales processes. You need to test all that organically before you start spending money on ads or, you know, on working with a marketing agency or something like that. If it doesn't work with your warm audience, it's definitely not going to work with a cold audience. That's going to be a revelation for some of you. It's going to save you thousands of dollars. You might be way overspending on your marketing when you haven't even tested your offers or your sales process. And like, it will serve you better to do that. And the way we think about it on my dream team is it's all a grand experiment. It's all a grand experiment. Let's try it. We have a good idea. We trust ourselves. Let's try it. Let's see if it works. Sometimes our ideas completely flop, even though we're really smart and we're really educated and we're very experienced now as a team together, they completely flop. And we try out, and we're just so committed to trying out different ways and different solutions that inevitably some of our ideas work really well, right? And so it's all a grand experiment. You don't have to get it right on the first time. In fact, you probably won't. You'll have to try things over and over again. And when you fail, don't take it personally. It's not personal. There's no way you could hit a home run on your very first time stepping up to the bat. It's just not possible. It takes a lot of practice. And so this grand experiment mindset with a capital G and a capital E and a capital M is absolutely key if you want to scale your small business to multi 6 or 7 figures plus. You absolutely have to start thinking this way and not be so tight around taking the next action. Like, is that the right one? Or, oh, maybe I should ask this person. It's like, no, you just have to learn how to trust yourself, take the next action, and then find out afterwards what worked, what didn't work, and what you're going to do next. The more decisive you are, the more you take aligned action, the more success and momentum you're going to generate for yourself. So yeah, is there anything else I want to tell you about that? I think that's really the thing that I want you to know. I guess I want to acknowledge that it's only 5 hours a week, right? So of course I could do the whole thing. Duh. I actually really like marketing. It's very fun for me. I'm a good writer. I love messaging. I love coding my messaging with all kinds of medicine for my soulmate client, like answering their objections before they even say them, or saying just this certain phrase that is like a magnetic force to my soulmate clients. I love marketing. So I could do this. It's only 5 hours a week. It's really not that big of a deal. And in fact, I do all of those pieces for my coaching business because I love it. I love it. And it's a personal brand. It's like my brand and my success philosophy and my method, my embodied leadership method. So it makes sense for me to do the marketing for that. But I don't do that for my studio because I don't wanna. And I just want to say that is when I started systematizing our marketing and our messaging, getting really clear about our messaging and such, and started to call this dream team in, the only reason I did it is because I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I permission granted to those of you who are watching, if there's something you don't want to do anymore in your business, stop making that a problem. That is a signal, that sort of value of alignment, that discipline of alignment is calling you elsewhere. Trust that. Go into that next phase and let someone else do the other things that you don't want to do anymore. So that somebody else will be really good at that and they'd be thrilled to get paid to do it. So make a job for someone else and keep following those nudges inside so that you can really feel excited about getting up and working for your business instead of, hey, can you move elsewhere, my love? Go over here. Thank you. So this is so important that you follow your own internal sense of alignment. Alignment equals abundance. Trust me on that. And of course, if this is resonating for you, I want to talk to you about how I will teach you to start to scale your small business to multi 6 or 7 figures plus while working only 20 hours or even less, 2 hours. So yeah, I work about 2 hours a week on my studio business. The rest of my time, 15 hours a week, maybe 20 at most, is on my coaching business. And I do that only because I wanna, only because I love it, right? And so if this is the kind of leverage small business that you want to create for yourself, a business that is lucrative, that is sustainable, that is consistent financially, but also is not sucking your life force, is also is not requiring you to do the job of 6 humans, I want to tell you about my 3-month mastermind scale school, because we start in October in just a handful of weeks. And this is going to change the DNA of your small business. It will shift you at the root and really empower you to make these moves and to get these results over the next couple of years. So how do you know if this is going to be the right next coaching investment for you? This is for you if you desire to wake up to a slow morning every morning. You don't have to rush out of the house to go teach a class or, unlock the door at the studio or let somebody in to work on the HVAC system or whatever. You have team members who can wake up, who can open up, who can manage the customer service, and all the sales and who can do the delivery if you don't want to do delivery anymore, if you just want to pare down in your delivery. And this slow morning will give you ample time for all the things you actually really want to be doing in the morning, like breathing, meditate, journaling, drinking your coffee, looking at the birds, doing your list making, your visioning, your dreaming work. Maybe you have an exercise practice that you love, like you like to take a walk in nature, or maybe you like to go take a Pilates class, or Tai Chi or something like that. But this will give you time for your contemplation, for your self-care in a way that is so enriching for your life, and quite frankly, for the lives of everyone else around you, who will be your energy will ripple out to them as you start to really prioritize this kind of morning routine. This is for those of you who want so badly an inbox that is sparse, uncluttered, just a couple emails that you have to deal with, nothing big, right? Because you've created systems and communication frameworks amongst your team members and amongst your clients and audience that help them to get their needs met without you having to be on the device all the time, and without you having to interrupt what you're doing to answer a bazillion questions all at once. That is completely unnecessary. Maybe it felt necessary in the beginning, but there are very easy solutions to that can have your inbox just completely spacious, just like your calendar, in literally 3 months or less. And this is a part of what you'll learn also, is like to finally have clear boundaries around your calendar, to actually feel the nervous system steadiness, to turn off your device for a couple hours each day, or even for a whole day on the weekend, or even the whole weekend, or even on a whole vacation, or a whole sabbatical, as it may be. Yes, this is entirely possible for you if this is what you want for yourself, if this is the kind of business you want for yourself. And I just want to name that not everyone wants this kind of leverage business. A lot of people really like to work hard, and they love it. They love the struggle. They love the hustle. They love feeling like their whole day is so busy. I'm dead serious. And I'm not talking this down either, because some people are really aligned with this. They like working 7 days a week. They would not change it for a thing. And some of these people, they even have good boundaries. Like they take time to rest and then they do their work, but they work 7 days a week and they do not want to change that. So if that's you, you don't have the problem I can help you solve. Maybe you don't even have any problem at all, which is great. I'm so happy for you. But the people that are attracted to working with me, they want a leveraged business that is making them money, filling up their bank account, allowing them to meet their savings goals, allowing them to meet their retirement and their investment goals, even leaving a financial legacy for their family members, their children and their grandchildren. They want that. But they also cannot or are not willing to do it by sacrificing their time, and their time with their family, their loved ones, their time for their self-care practice, and their time to just be in their own visionary brain, to have that alone time. Like some of us are empaths, and we really empaths need a lot of alone time, more alone time than others, in order to feel inside ourselves. If we spend too much time with the clients, with the customers, dealing with the team members, etc., and then having to come home and deal with all our family members and such, we feel pulled apart energetically. Like we just can't even hear ourselves think straight. So this is part of the people that I work with, are the empaths, the visionaries, the people who actually require a tremendous amount of alone time, even if they have a lot of responsibility in their families, in their lives, in their communities. And I know that this, what I'm talking about for some of you will seem like a fantasy. It would seem like a fantasy to me too, when I was working, 70 or 80 hours a week, building my first company, and really working for peanuts, making $30,000 a year here in the Bay Area, which is really, you have no money to do anything other than just maybe pay your rent on time if you're lucky. But yes, this is entirely possible for you to learn, because I break it down into 3 steps. Today, we've been shining a little bit of light on the first step of my method, my 3-step embodied leadership system. And that step 1 is called design for alignment. I used to call this mastermind the embodied leadership mastermind because it really is focused on this first step of scaling, which is building your team, getting you and all your team members in your zone of genius, which I could go off on and tell you about how amazing it is and how much more money it's going to make everyone and how much more joy it's going to bring to your daily life. But the truth is, this system, this 3-step system, is not just about building a team. It's about scaling your business. And I really break it down into these very easy to put into action, these steps that are very small. We call them the 1 degree daily upgrade. It's just a small step. It won't take you that long. But if you just do these little steps and start to understand these larger concepts, success concepts, and start to implement them in your day-to-day, you will feel completely different in 3 months. You will feel radically different in 6 months. And I was just talking to one of my clients who did this 3-month program last fall. So now it's been about 9 months. And she was telling me that she feels like she has so much more life force. She has so much more energy now that she's delegated and she's really made some great hires on her team. She has all this energy to create new offers, to market the things that she's super excited about. It's like she's working with a whole new level of energy because she's not so fucking exhausted anymore. So yes, this is entirely possible. And I'm going to walk you through it just step by step. In the 12 weeks that we'll be working together from first week of October until just before Christmas, I have designed it so that it's like 3 weeks on and then 1 week off. There's an integration week on the 4th week of each month. So the last week of October, that week of Thanksgiving, and then of course that week of the holidays of Christmas and New Year's. And those are weeks that are specifically designed to just help you breathe, take it in, catch up if you get like a little off the homework or you haven't quite implemented everything. I really specifically designed this so that you could actually do it, because I know some of you have had the experience of investing in coaching and not completing at all the assignments or the homework or whatever the thing is that your coach, told you to implement. And so I really wanted to make it very quick, very easy. Most of the videos, the trainings are like 5 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. There's a few bonus trainings that you can just put on in your earbuds and do your dishes or take a walk. But the bulk of the trainings are very short and they're very actionable. And you can apply them just in real time to what's going on in your business. And so, this is the process, the embodied leadership system. It's 3 steps. And those 3 steps are designed for alignment, integrate or create a sparkling company culture. And I have 5 specific shifts that I'll teach you how to make amongst your team. Even if it's a small team of 3 people, that's fine. And then the last one, the step 3, is about the identity work and about really being and becoming a visionary leader. And we break that out into 4 different archetypes. I can tell you more about this. You can DM me if you want to know more, or I'll put my sales page down in the link and you can read more about it. And this is exactly the process that has helped me scale from 500K years in my small business to I landed on 700K for a couple of years, 750. Last year I did 980K. And this year I'm on track for my first 7-figure year, which is so exciting and so amazing. It's such a big milestone for me. And it's helped me do all that financially while I was weeding out my misaligned team members. While I was cutting down on my teaching hours and not doing the marketing anymore, creating and aligning a team around me to do all the things that I had been doing for a decade plus and I didn't want to do anymore, right? I wanted to put my focus elsewhere. I did this while I was building a whole second other business, right? And so this is really this will be great for some of you who have some ideas about how you want to scale. Maybe for some of you, it's just about more clients, right? Or maybe serving them at a higher level with a higher ticket model or something like that. But a lot of my clients who come in here, they have some different ideas about how they want to scale. They might want to move to a different location and really have a more a beautiful space, like in a luxury experience for their clients. Some of them want to keep their original space if they're a wellness business owner, and then scale to a second location, or maybe a third location, or even a fourth location. And some of my people want to create this leverage business, not necessarily so they can grow it to multiple locations or to like all different offers. They just really want to get their current business dialed in, super profitable, so that in 5 years or maybe even 10 years, they can sell it for a huge profit and like essentially fund their entire retirement. So those are some of the reasons why people come in to learn this embodied leadership system in Scale School in this 3-month program. And I want you to know this system does not just work for me. I have been teaching elements of this system for 6 years to hundreds of business owner clients, like just real people, like creating small businesses to serve their community, mostly service-based businesses. And they get amazing results. Like 90% of my long-term clients double or even quadruple their income in a period of 2 to 4 years. Usually it's less. Usually it's more like 2.5. They get insane results. I want to tell you about Chris, who went from 80-hour work weeks to 40 while we were working together, and scaled from 200K per year in revenue to 400K. I think we were working together for maybe 18 months or maybe 2 years to make that happen. Or Kelly, my client Kelly, who's been in pretty much every program I've ever created at some point or another, who recently had her highest month ever at her yoga studio business, while she's continuing to pare down on her delivery and really carve out a lot more personal time for her horseback riding, for her kids, for her family, and just for her own like quiet time, which is so precious to her. Or I got to name Judy, who's again one of my long-term clients. I've been working with Judy on and off since the early days of the pandemic, so for over 3 years. And Judy, when she first came to me, was probably making about $8K a month in her Pilates studio business, actually. And since then has built her Pilates studio business. She's built a whole other retreat business. And she is now averaging 30K plus per month consistently. She's had those results for the last 4 months. And even before that, it was like around 20K in the early parts of this year. So she had her first 6-figure year last year, and now she's about to have a multi-6-figure. She's created so much momentum with her commitment to this process and to this system. And I know that like if you are here with me today, you're no spring chicken to investing in coaching or mentoring. The people that I work with actually have an ethic of investing like regularly, and they often have multiple mentors, somebody who's helping them with marketing, somebody who's helping them with this or that or the other. And so I know that there's some of you that have invested before and you really haven't gotten the results that you wanted. First of all, I added to this curriculum last year a 3-part training that I call ROI, and it's how to guarantee your own return on investment in your coaching investments. You're going to apply that to your work with me, but you'll be able to take that with you for the rest of your coaching investments. Because even if you have a shit mentor, I know I just want to name this, like a few years ago, I invested in a fucking terrible mentor. I spent $30,000. It's probably $35,000 on this person, only to realize that they were amazing at marketing and sales. And I loved being sold to. I truly loved it. I loved giving them my money. And then when we actually got into a one-on-one container, I realized they were a terrible mentor. So I just want to name that. Like, if that's happened to you, I'm sorry that's happened to you. It's happened to me too. You know, this is part of becoming a more savvy investor, is like, sometimes you make investments and they go down the tank, but you can't not make investments in growing your business, whether those investments are payroll, of course, or, you know, marketing or back-end systems and solutions, or a mentor. You have to continue to get the support that you need in order to grow. And so I hope that even if you've had a terrible mentor or a terrible experience, that it won't prevent you from continuing on and trusting yourself and continuing to invest at a rate that is tolerable for you. You know, I just want to name that as like, not everyone is in a position or even of a mindset to invest 30K in a program or 50K in a program or 75K. There were so many years where that was like, that would have been like a total fantasy to me, right? Even though now I regularly invest like 100K plus in my business. But I just want to name, like, if all you have is $500 to invest, like this program won't be right for you. It's a 10 or 15K investment, but just find a mentor who will teach you something for $500. Just do the investment that you can, start to build momentum, start to take more aligned action and learn more about what's going to work for you. That's my support to you for those of you who have had bum investments or just like sour experiences in the coaching industry. But I want you to know that, like, it's very important to me that I love marketing. I love sales. I actually love the moment of ushering a business owner through that moment of transformation where they say, yes, I'm ready. Kiki, I've been following you for 18 months or for 3 years. And like, I'm finally ready. Let's fucking go. Here's my credit card. I love that moment, but I also love delivery. I love working with you very intimately, getting to know your business, getting to know the name of all your team members, and really supporting you in the day-to-day choices, in your decisions, and in your belief that it's going to work. And so you will be supported in Scale School on so many different levels. Yes, there's an emphasis on delegating, on building your team, on like the HR structure. So I'm going to teach you the leadership tactics and techniques that will help you tremendously to offload the 1,000,001 things that are on your to-do list and to actually have a little bit of space in your schedule and in your nervous system. Absolutely. But I'm also going to teach you about how to be a better communicator, about how to clarify your boundaries, how to set policies, how to set procedures. I honestly have a ton of like plug and play documents from my 2 businesses in the Scale School curriculum. So you'll be able to make a copy in your Google Docs and just like modify it yourself. I love teaching my people about how to have an entrepreneur mindset that sustains, that helps you do the impossible thing, because truly most small business owners don't make it. So I want to teach you about how to think like a CEO, how to really embody being like a boss ass wealth creator. Like, how do you actually think that way? How do you actually make decisions? And I'll break this down for you in really simple, actionable concepts. I personally, as a yogini and a longtime meditator and an energy worker, I love dancing in the realm of energetics, of manifestation. I'm totally going to teach you some of the woo, of course. And for those of you who want more of that, who really want more access to your intuition, and yet you're very practical and grounded, I am your mentor. That is how I am too. I love, like, I can talk to you about your employee handbook and like tell you like, oh, here's how to word that. Here's how to say that. And I can also teach you how to access your intuition, how to decipher the voice of your intuition, the voice of your spirit, from the voice of fear, contraction, scarcity, what someone else has told you that you now think you have to follow. You will get more connected to this inner wisdom by coming into my world and by stepping closer in this program in Scale School. And I also love helping my people with their offers, with their pricing, with their marketing, with their sales. So you'll get a lot of strategy support in Scale School as well, especially on the coaching calls. So the coaching calls, I want to name this. So some of you have been asking me what the schedule is. So I take only 10 people per pod. And so right now I'm filling my Thursday at 12:30 PST pod. That's the one that I'm filling right now. If that one fills and we decide to open up another one, TBD on what day and time, but we'll be meeting the first 3 Thursdays of each month on October, November, and December. The first 3 Thursdays, 12:30, we'll go for an hour, and I will be able to get to your questions. I have some systems set up where I know what questions are coming. I know how much time to give to each question. And there's actually often a little bit of time at the end where we can kind of open the floor for people who have new questions, having sat in on the Q&A. So that will be really valuable for you. Yeah, and the truth is, here's what I want you to know about coaching investments. There is not, for some of you, this particular coaching investment is actually going to like blow things open for you. It is going to shift things for you. But the truth is, there is no single one investment that is the answer to your prayers. So if right now you're listening to me and you're like, this is it, this is the thing. No, It's not. It's not. The way you need to approach building a business is consistency. There is no single recipe. There is no single method. There is no single coach or coaching investment that is going to all of a sudden change everything for you. It's about you taking the steps consistently over time and building momentum. And yes, consistently investing in coaches, in mentors, in courses, in really learning the craft of small business success will absolutely get you there. But to have an expectation that your life is going to change in the next 3 months so dramatically is going to be a detriment to you. So I like to teach people, I don't like to actually really teach people the quantum leap. I know there's coaches out there who claim they can or actually can teach you about quantum leaping your income and all that. But to me, I'm much more interested in helping you get slow, steady upgrades, consistent results that over the course of a year or 2 years or 3 add up to a quantum leap where you like look back and you go, oh my God, like Judy, who went from 8K to 30K months. Like that sounds like a quantum leap, but you can ask Judy, she might even watch this. It probably didn't feel like a quantum leap. It doesn't feel fast while you're in the day-to-day. It's only when you look back that you're like, oh my God, I have shifted so much in the last several years. So that's what it's going to feel like. It won't feel like an assault on your nervous system. You won't feel like you're expanding so quickly that you're getting pulled apart. I will support you in expanding at a rate that is tolerable for your body and for your nervous system. And I know this comes from, my many years of embodiment, participating and coaching as a Pilates teacher, as a yoga teacher. And it's also just come from my experience of having quantum leaped my business several times and then feeling exhausted and like laid out afterwards and just completely like fried because I honestly wasn't ready for that much money. I wasn't ready for that much success. And so I've learned that personally, my nervous system likes the slow, steady, consistent upgrades. It doesn't always feel like that in the day to day. But then when I look back over a week or over a month or over a year, yes, I can really see that. And of course I can see it on my tax returns too. It's like, oh yeah, that's working. That's definitely working. So, here's what I want you to know. If you're considering this, and you feel called to it, and you're still watching, I'm still talking about this, and you're still watching it, it's a sign to you that there's something here. And my support to you is open up a new window in your browser, read all about the Scale School so you can really like digest and feel if this is the right thing for you right now. So you can type this in your new window, kikilovelace.com/leadership. Read about Scale School. We start in October. But the moment you invest or even just put down your first payment in your payment plan, you get instant access to all the curriculum. So some of you could actually be diving into this curriculum over this next month, and you could start to implement it and start to get results and start to actually let it penetrate your day-to-day, your calendar, your bank account, your sales reports, etc. And I want to encourage you to trust yourself, to trust that voice that is calling you forward, because the truth is, if you want to scale to multi-6 or 7 figures, you have to trust your intuition as a small business owner. You have to. There is no other option. You have to. This is part of why I love business ownership, and part of why I love supporting other small business owners is like, it is the best personal development growth program you'll ever enroll in. Building your own small business, right? You have to learn how to be better boundaried. You have to learn how to be a better communicator. You have to learn how to think short-term and think long-term. You have to develop all these parts of you that to really create like a sustainable small business that are going to be so magical for your life and for your sense of self. I can't wait to read your application. Please do submit your application. I read every single one because I am very invested in only calling into this very small cohort, this cohort of 10 humans, people who I 100% believe will get amazing results and will be my success story that I'm talking about in 3 months or in 3 years, however long it takes. My friend, thank you so much for joining. And please do reach out on the socials if you have any questions about Scale School, and I'll talk to you real soon. Thanks, everybody.